The knife slips from my fingers and clatters against the marble countertop, splattering red sauce across my pristine white cookbook. I can hear them in the living room, Mark's voice rising like thunder, Tyler's sharp responses cutting through the walls. My latest blog post has stirred up the hornet's nest, just as I knew it would. I'm Addison, and this is the moment my carefully crafted life begins to splinter. You let her humiliate us online? Tyler's voice cracks with teenage fury. Everyone at school reads her stupid blog. Watch your tone, Mark snaps back. I'm handling this. I wipe my hands slowly on my apron, savoring the tremor of anticipation coursing through me. The post wasn't even that inflammatory, just a little story about family dynamics gone wrong, sprinkled with carefully chosen details that only they would recognize. The passive-aggressive masterpiece took me 3 days to perfect. Handling it? Like you handle everything else? Tyler's footsteps pound across the hardwood. By pretending nothing's wrong, I step into the doorway, shoulders squared. Mark's face is flushed, his perfectly pressed dress shirt wrinkled from gesturing. Tyler stands near the fireplace, fists clenched, looking so much like his father it makes my stomach turn. Everything okay in here? I keep my voice light, pleasant. The voice of the successful cookbook author and lifestyle blogger they've come to despise. Mark's eyes narrow. Take it down. Take what down, dear? Don't play stupid, Addison. That little story about the controlling father and his puppet son? Real subtle. I lean against the doorframe, crossing my arms. It's fiction, Mark. Creative license. My readers love family drama. Your readers? Tyler spits the words. You mean the thousands of strangers you feed our private lives to? They're called subscribers, honey. And they pay our bills. I smile, watching Mark's jaw clench. He hates that my blog makes more money than his middle management position ever did. I want it gone by morning, Mark says, each word measured and cold. Or we're going to have a serious problem. We already have a serious problem. I straighten up, dropping the pleasant mask. Several, actually. Would you like me to list them alphabetically or chronologically? Tyler storms past me, shoulder checking me hard enough to make me stumble. The stairs thunder under his feet, followed by the slam of his bedroom door. Mark takes 2 steps toward me, close enough that I can smell his cologne, and something else, something floral that definitely isn't mine. You're pushing too far, he whispers. Remember who helped build your precious career. I meet his gaze, steady and unflinching. Remember who's been dismantling it piece by piece? He backs away, straightening his tie. The post comes down, Addison. End of discussion. I watch him grab his keys and briefcase, heading for the door at 9 p.m. Another late night at the office, no doubt. The front door closes with deliberate softness, worse than any slam. Back in the kitchen, I pull up my blog on my tablet. The post has already gone viral, screenshots spreading across social media like wildfire. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't contain it now. My finger hovers over the delete button for a moment before I close the browser. My phone buzzes with a text from Jason. You okay? Saw the post. Call if you need backup. I type back quickly. I'm fine. Everything's going according to plan. The house settles into silence around me, broken only by muffled music from Tyler's room. I pick up the knife again, wiping off the sauce. The blade catches the light, gleaming like a promise. This was just the first cut, surgical and precise. They have no idea what's coming next. I open my laptop and begin typing the next post. This one will be about secrets, lies, and a woman named Rachel who works too closely with her boss. Let's see how Mark handles that tomorrow morning. The old photos mock me from their silver frames. Mark and me on our wedding day, his arm possessively around my waist. Tyler's first baseball game, where Mark coached his team to victory. Happy moments frozen in time, preserved behind glass like museum pieces of a life I barely recognize. I'm arranging dinner plates when Mark finally emerges from his study, phone pressed to his ear. Yes, we'll review those numbers tomorrow, he says, voice dripping with that honeyed tone he reserves for important calls. Thanks, Rachel. You're a lifesaver. Rachel. The name hits me like a slap. I've seen it flash across his phone screen too many times lately, always accompanied by that little smile he thinks I don't notice. Important work call? I keep my voice neutral, sliding a casserole onto the table. Just wrapping up some quarterly projections. He loosens his tie, avoiding my eyes. Where's Tyler? Football practice, though I doubt he's actually there. Mark's head snaps up. What's that supposed to mean? I saw him downtown yesterday with those new friends of his, during practice hours. I serve the food with precise movements, but I'm sure you'll find a way to excuse it. Don't start, Addison. Not tonight. When should I start, Mark? When he fails senior year? When he gets arrested? He slams his hand on the table, making the silverware jump. Maybe if you hadn't driven him away with your constant criticism. My criticism? I laugh, the sound sharp as broken glass. That's rich, coming from the man who told him my career was just a hobby. Your little cooking blog was supposed to be a hobby. Now it's taken over everything. He stabs at his food. You've changed. Into someone you can't control anymore? The front door slams before he can answer. Tyler storms through, reeking of cigarettes and defiance. His girlfriend Lily trails behind him, looking uncomfortable. You're late, Mark says. Practice ran long. Tyler grabs Lily's hand. We're studying upstairs. Sit down, I say. Both of you. Family dinner isn't optional, Tyler sneers. We're not family. You made that clear in your blog. Tyler, Lily whispers, tugging his sleeve. Maybe we should… No. He yanks away from her. I'm sick of pretending everything's fine. You write about us like we're characters in your stupid stories, twisting everything to make yourself look good. I write the truth, I say, meeting his glare. Maybe that's what bothers you both so much. Mark pushes back from the table. Enough! Tyler, take Lily upstairs. We'll discuss this later. There's nothing to discuss. Tyler turns to leave, but Lily doesn't move. She's staring at her phone, face pale. Tyler, you should see this. He grabs the phone, color draining from his face as he reads. Mark's phone buzzes a moment later, then mine. The notifications pop up simultaneously. My latest blog post, already going viral. You promised to take it down, Mark growls. I promised nothing. I take a slow sip of water. And this one's different. This one's about a woman named Rachel and all those late nights at the office. The silence that follows is absolute. Tyler looks between us, realization dawning in his eyes. Lily backs away, mumbling something about calling her mom. Mark's voice drops to a dangerous whisper. You have no idea what you've started. Actually, I do. I stand, gathering the untouched plates. I'm finishing what you started years ago, when you decided I wasn't enough anymore. Tyler bolts upstairs after Lily. Mark grabs his keys, hands shaking with rage. This ends now, he says. I'm calling my lawyer. Good. I smile, sweet as poison. Tell him to check your company emails while he's at it. I'm sure Rachel's kept copies of everything. He freezes, hand on the doorknob. For a moment, I see fear crack through his perfect facade. Then he's gone, tires squealing in the driveway. I pull out my phone and text Jason. It's done. Phase 1 complete. His reply comes instantly. You okay? I look around the empty dining room at the family photos that tell such pretty lies. Never better, I type back. The real fun's about to begin. Upstairs, I hear Tyler's door slam, followed by muffled arguing. Soon he'll discover his private messages with Lily have been leaked too. Nothing too damaging, just enough to show the world who he really is. Like father, like son. I open my laptop and begin drafting tomorrow's post. They think this is about revenge. They have no idea it's about justice. Jason's coffee grows cold as he listens to my plan, his expression darkening with each detail. We're tucked away in the corner of his bookstore, surrounded by towering shelves that muffle our conversation. Mark's lawyer sent another cease and desist, I say, sliding the letter across the table. They're threatening to sue for defamation. Can they prove any of it's false? I shake my head. Everything I wrote is technically true. I just arranged the pieces to tell the right story. The bell above the door chimes. Tyler walks in with Lily, then freezes when he sees me. His face has that hollow look teenagers get when they're carrying too many secrets. Lily tugs at his sleeve, but he shakes her off and storms toward our table. "You're ruining everything," he spits. "Dad's firm is investigating him because of your stupid blog." Jason stands, protective instinct kicking in. "Watch your tone, kid." "It's fine," I say, keeping my voice steady. "Tyler, we should talk about what's really going on. Like you care. You just want revenge because he found someone better." The words hit their mark, but I don't flinch. "Someone better? Is that what he told you about Rachel?" Lily steps forward, her voice barely above a whisper. "Tyler, maybe you should tell her what you saw." He whirls on her. "Shut up! Tell me what?" I look between them, noting how Tyler's hands are shaking. "Nothing," he snaps. "Just stay out of our lives." He grabs Lily's arm, but she pulls away. "I can't keep lying," she says. "It's not just Rachel. There are others." The world tilts slightly. Jason's hand finds my shoulder, steadying me. "You knew?" I ask Tyler. "All this time?" "Dad said you drove him to it." His voice cracks. "Said you were too focused on your career, too busy becoming someone else." "And you believed him?" "I saw the texts," Lily blurts. "On his phone. When he left it at Tyler's game last week. There were at least 3 different women, all from work." Tyler lunges for her phone, but Jason steps between them. "That's enough. Tyler, go cool off." "You're choosing her over family?" Tyler's eyes are bright with unshed tears. "After everything she's done." "She is family," Jason says quietly. "The only one trying to save you from becoming just like him." Tyler backs away, shoulders rigid. "I hate you," he tells me. "I hope he takes everything from you." The bell chimes again as he leaves. Lily stands there, twisting her phone in her hands. "I have screenshots," she says. "If you want them." My fingers curl around my coffee cup, seeking warmth. "Why would you help me?" "Because Tyler's changing, becoming cruel like his dad. Maybe if he sees the truth." She places her phone on the table. "Just don't tell him it came from me." After she leaves, Jason slides the phone toward me. "You don't have to look." "Yes, I do." I unlock the screen, start scrolling through messages that confirm every suspicion, every doubt, every moment of gaslighting I endured. "This is perfect." "Addison." Jason's voice carries a warning. "Think about Tyler." I am thinking about Tyler. He needs to see who his father really is. I forward the screenshots to myself. Mark made him choose sides. Now he'll have to live with that choice. And if this breaks him, then he'll learn what I learned, that sometimes you have to break before you can rebuild. Jason sighs, running a hand through his graying hair. "What's your next move?" I pull out my laptop, fingers hovering over the keys. "A story about fathers and sons, about inherited lies and the weight of choices. He'll come after you harder this time." "Let him." I start typing, each word a bullet in my arsenal. I'm done being the victim in his story. Through the bookstore window, I catch a glimpse of Tyler in the parking lot, slumped against his car. For a moment, I see the little boy who used to beg me to read him bedtime stories. Then he straightens, pulls out his phone, and his face hardens into Mark's mask. "Sometimes," I tell Jason, "the kindest thing you can do for someone is force them to face the truth. The truth I'm crafting will burn through their carefully constructed lies like acid, revealing the rot beneath." Mark thinks he's fighting to save his reputation. He hasn't realized yet that I'm fighting to save his son. The email from Rachel arrives at 3 in the morning. Its timestamp a digital confession of sleepless guilt. I've been waiting for this, the inevitable crack in Mark's carefully constructed facade. My cursor hovers over the attachment labeled Financial Records. My mother's voice echoes in my head from our conversation yesterday. Revenge is like holding onto hot coals, hoping someone else gets burned. I click anyway. The spreadsheets tell a story that makes my published blog posts look like children's fairy tales. Wire transfers, offshore accounts, creative accounting that would make our tax auditor weep. Mark hasn't just been hiding affairs. He's been hiding money, lots of it. My phone buzzes. Derek, our neighbor, whose job at Mark's firm suddenly makes him invaluable. "You need to come over," he says without greeting. "Now." I find him in his garage, surrounded by boxes of documents. His hands shake as he hands me a manila folder. "I was reviewing the quarterly reports when I found these discrepancies. Mark's been cooking the books for years." "And you're showing me because? Because he's setting you up to take the fall." Derek pulls out more papers. "Your signature's on half these documents. Forged, but good enough to fool investigators." The garage feels too small suddenly, the walls pressing in. "Why help me?" "Because 20 years ago, my wife did the same thing to me. I lost everything protecting her reputation." My phone chimes with a text from Tyler. "Dad's having a breakdown. Thanks for destroying our family." "Does Rachel know about this?" I ask Derek. She's the one who helped him set it up, but now she's scared. The SEC's sniffing around." I spread the documents across his workbench, pieces of a puzzle I never wanted to solve. "He made me sign blank papers during our marriage. Said it was for insurance, tax stuff. I trusted him." Trust is a weapon in the wrong hands. Another text from Tyler. "He's drinking again. If anything happens to him, it's your fault." Derek watches me read it. "Mark was at the bar last night, telling anyone who'd listen that you're trying to destroy him. He's unraveling." Good. But my voice lacks conviction. "Is it? Because right now you're holding evidence of major financial fraud, and your fingerprints are all over it." I start taking photos of the documents with trembling hands. "I need to call Jason." "Your friend, the bookstore owner? What's he going to do?" "His brother's a federal prosecutor." I pause, remembering something. "And he keeps records of everything." I pull up my old emails, searching for specific dates. There, copies of every document Mark had me sign, sent to Jason just in case. Proof of my innocence, carefully preserved by paranoia, I didn't even know I had. My phone rings. It's Lily. "Tyler's gone," she says, crying. "He took his dad's gun and some money. He left a note saying he's going to fix everything." The photos slip from my hand, scattering across the concrete floor. "What kind of note?" "Like a goodbye note." "Please, I don't know what to do." Derek's already grabbing his keys. "I'll drive." We peel out of the driveway as I dial Mark's number. Straight to voicemail. I try Rachel next. "Where's Mark?" "How should I know?" But her voice wavers. "Tyler has his gun, Rachel. This isn't about affairs or money anymore." A sharp intake of breath. "He said he was meeting Tyler at the lake house. Something about proving his love for you both." I hang up, turn to Derek. "The lake house. Fast." My phone lights up with a final text from Tyler. "You wanted to break him. Congratulations. Now watch what happens." The revenge I thought I wanted tastes like ashes in my mouth. I'd planned to destroy Mark's reputation, his career, his comfortable lies. Instead, I might have destroyed something far more precious. Derek pushes the speedometer higher as storm clouds gather overhead. "What's your play here?" "I don't know anymore." I stare at the darkening sky, remembering Tyler as a child, learning to swim in that lake. I just know I can't let him become his father's last victim. Or mine. The lake house looms dark against the stormy sky, its windows reflecting lightning like camera flashes. Derek kills the headlights as we pull up, gravel crunching under the tires. Mark's car sits empty in the driveway, driver's door still open. "Call the police," Derek says. I shake my head. "They'll escalate things. Tyler's scared enough." Inside, rain drums against the roof as we move through rooms thick with memories. Family vacations, holiday gatherings, moments when we actually felt like a real family. A half-empty whiskey bottle on the kitchen counter leaves no doubt about Mark's state of mind. "Dad?" Tyler's voice echoes from upstairs, raw and desperate. "Is that you?" Derek reaches for his phone, but I grab his wrist. "Let me handle this." "Addison," Mark's voice now, slurred but dangerous. Come up and see what you've done to your family. I start up the stairs, each step creaking like an accusation. Derek follows, despite my gesture to stay back. Tyler, I call out, we can talk about this. Talk? Tyler laughs, bitter and broken. Like your blog talks about us? Making us into characters for your revenge story? I reach the top landing. They're in the master bedroom. Tyler by the window, Mark slumped in an armchair. The gun rests on Tyler's lap, his fingers tracing its outline. Put it down, son, Derek says from behind me. Don't call me that. Tyler's hand tightens on the weapon. You're just another one of her allies, everyone taking her side while Dad loses everything. Your father chose this path, I say, taking a careful step forward. The affairs, the fraud. Shut up! Mark lurches from his chair. You think you know everything? You think your little exposé makes you righteous? I know about Rachel, I say, and the others. I know about the offshore accounts. Tyler's head snaps up. What accounts? Don't listen to her, Mark sways, reaching for the gun. She's trying to turn you against me, like she always has. By telling the truth. My voice rises despite myself. Show him the transfers, Mark. Show him how you've been stealing from his college fund to pay off your mistresses. The gun wavers in Tyler's grip. Dad? Lightning flashes, illuminating Mark's face. No longer handsome, just hollow and afraid. I was protecting us. Everything I did was for this family. Was Rachel for the family? The words taste like poison. The accountant before her? The intern? Stop it! Tyler stands, gun pointed at the floor. Just stop destroying everything. Your father already destroyed it, Derek says quietly. Addison just exposed the wreckage. Mark lunges suddenly, grabbing for the gun. Tyler stumbles back, startled. The weapon discharges with a deafening crack. Time fragments like broken glass. Derek tackles Mark. Tyler drops the gun, horror spreading across his face, and I'm pressing my hands against Mark's shoulder, blood seeping between my fingers, while he stares up at me with something between hatred and recognition. You won, he whispers. Happy now? Tyler backs away, shaking. I didn't mean... I never wanted... Call an ambulance, I tell Derek, maintaining pressure on the wound. Tyler, look at me. This isn't your fault. Everything's my fault, he says. That's what you've been writing all along, isn't it? How I'm becoming him. Sirens wail in the distance as rain pounds against the windows. Mark's blood feels warm against my cold hands, and I remember other moments of intimacy turn to violence. Not physical, but emotional wounds that never quite healed. I wanted justice, I tell Tyler, my voice steady despite everything. But not like this. Never like this. He slides down the wall, wrapping his arms around his knees like he did as a child after nightmares. What happens now? I look at Mark, barely conscious, then at Derek calling emergency services, and finally at Tyler, 17 and terrified, caught in the crossfire of adult vendettas. Now we tell the truth, I say, all of it. No more blogs, no more secrets. Just reality, however ugly it is. Lightning flashes again, and in that stark moment, I see my revenge for what it really is. Not justice, but a poison that's touched everyone I claim to be protecting. The sirens grow closer, promising questions I'm not sure how to answer. But as I hold pressure on Mark's wound, I realize some answers matter more than others, like how to stop a cycle of destruction before it claims another generation. The hospital waiting room smells like bleach and broken promises. Tyler sits 3 chairs away, handcuffed to a police officer, while Rachel paces by the vending machines in her designer heels. The click, click, click of her steps matches my heartbeat. Mrs. Harrison? The detective's badge catches the fluorescent light. We need to discuss the financial documents found at the lake house. My hands still feel sticky with Mark's blood. Now? Your fingerprints are on multiple fraudulent documents, and given your blog posts, we have evidence of premeditation. Tyler's head snaps up. Premeditation? Your stepmother may have orchestrated this entire situation. The detective's words cut through the antiseptic air. Including the shooting. Rachel stops pacing. I told you she was dangerous. Mark said a lot of things. I stand, legs shaking. Check the dates on those documents. Check the signatures. We did. He pulls out his phone, showing me an email. Including this one, where you discussed making him pay with someone named Jason. My stomach drops. Our private conversations, carefully encrypted, now twisted into evidence. Jason's support becoming a weapon against me. It wasn't her fault. Tyler's voice cracks. I'm the one who... Don't. I cut him off. Don't say another word. The surgery doors swing open. Evelyn hurries in, her face ashen. Addison, what have you done? Mom, They're charging you with conspiracy and attempted murder. Her hands tremble as she clutches her purse. The police just searched your house. They found everything. Everything? Rachel steps closer, vulture-like. The offshore account records, the forged documents, the emails about... Evelyn falters. About making it look like an accident. The detective moves toward me. Mrs. Harrison, you need to come with us. Those emails weren't about Mark. My voice sounds distant, hollow. They were about exposing the fraud. I was gathering evidence. While publicly threatening him on your blog? Rachel laughs sharply. You documented your entire revenge fantasy for the world to see. Tyler struggles against his handcuffs. She's lying. Dad was the one who... Tyler, stop. I meet his eyes, seeing the scared little boy beneath the anger. Don't make this worse. But they're twisting everything. He turns to the detective. She was protecting me. Dad was the one with the gun. He had defensive wounds consistent with being attacked, the detective finishes, and a history of being harassed by his ex-wife. Rachel produces her phone. I have texts from Mark saying he was afraid of what she might do. Of course she does. They planned this, probably from the moment I started the blog. Every post I wrote, every piece of evidence I gathered, now weaponized against me. Addison. Evelyn's voice breaks. Please tell me you didn't plan this. I look at my mother's face, at Tyler's desperate eyes, at Rachel's triumphant smile. The revenge I thought I controlled has spiraled into something monstrous, consuming everything in its path. I need my lawyer, I say quietly. The detective produces handcuffs. Mrs. Harrison, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder, financial fraud, and... She was protecting me, Tyler shouts, tears streaming now. Dad was stealing my college fund. He was lying about everything. Tyler, enough! My voice comes out sharper than intended. This isn't your fault, any of it. As the detective reads my rights, I catch a glimpse of Mark's surgeon approaching. His expression tells me Mark will survive. Another twist of the knife. He'll live to spin his version of events, to play the victim while I face charges. Mom, I whisper as they lead me away. Take care of Tyler. Rachel's heels click, click, click behind us, probably already planning her next move. The detective's grip tightens as we pass the emergency room where Mark lies, surrounded by machines and morphine dreams. My revenge has come full circle, transforming me from victim to villain in one pull of a trigger. As the hospital doors slide open to a wall of waiting reporters, I realize Mark has won after all. He's made me into exactly what he always claimed I was, a monster of his own creation. The cameras flash like lightning at the lake house, capturing my fall from grace in high definition. The visiting room at the county jail smells like desperation and cheap coffee. Mark sits across from me, his arm in a sling, looking smaller without his expensive suits and practiced charm. Rachel hovers by the door like a well-dressed vulture, while our lawyers exchange whispers at opposite ends of the table. You could have killed me, Mark says. You're thinking of Tyler, the son you manipulated into pulling that trigger. His good hand clenches. I want to make a deal. No deals, Rachel interrupts. We have her exactly where... Shut up. Mark's voice carries an edge I haven't heard before. This ends today. My lawyer slides a document across the table. Full confession of the financial fraud. Sign it. And destroy myself? Mark laughs, but it sounds hollow. That's your play? I lean forward, keeping my voice steady. Check your phone, Rachel. The SEC just received some interesting emails. She fumbles with her designer purse, face paling as she reads. Mark, she's bluffing. She couldn't have. Derek kept copies of everything, I say. Every transaction, every forged document, every deleted email, including the ones where you two planned to frame me. Mark's facade cracks slightly. You're in custody. They have evidence. They have what you wanted them to see. I slide another paper forward. But Tyler's girlfriend had her own evidence. The texts where you admitted stealing his college fund, where you planned this whole setup. Rachel moves toward the door, but a guard blocks her path. It's over, Mark. My hands are steady now. Sign the confession, or I release everything, not just to the SEC, but to every media outlet that's been following this story. You'll go down with us, Rachel snaps. Maybe, but Tyler won't. I meet Mark's eyes. That's the difference between us. I'm willing to burn if it means protecting him from becoming you. Mark stares at the confession, jaw working. You planned this. Even in custody, you were still learning from the master of manipulation? I smile without warmth. You taught me well. A commotion outside draws everyone's attention. Through the window, I see Tyler being led in by officers, Lily and my mother beside him. He looks different, older, harder, but somehow clearer. He's here to testify, my lawyer says, about everything. The gun, the threats, the money, all of it. Mark's face crumples. Tyler wouldn't. Already did. I push a pen toward him. Your choice now. Sign and face the fraud charges alone, or let your son tell the world what kind of father you really are. Rachel grabs her things. I'm calling my lawyer. Too late. My lawyer holds up his phone. The SEC has already frozen your accounts, both sets of them. Mark picks up the pen with trembling fingers. As he signs, I see the man I once loved. Weak, scared, finally facing consequences. The victory tastes like ash. Was it worth it? He asks, pushing the signed confession back. Destroying our family for revenge? You destroyed us long ago. I stand as the guards move in. I just made sure Tyler survived the wreckage. Through the window, I watch Tyler hug Lily, his shoulders straight, no longer carrying his father's weight. My mother catches my eye, nodding once, proud, sad, understanding. Rachel's taken into custody first, her designer heels clicking one last time on the concrete floor. Mark follows, pausing at the door. I did love you, he says. Once. No. I gather the confession, my ticket to freedom. You loved controlling me. There's a difference. The guards lead him away as my lawyer starts making calls. In minutes, the charges against me will be dropped. In hours, the true story will hit the news. By tomorrow, Mark and Rachel's carefully constructed world will be ashes. But watching Tyler through the glass, seeing him choose truth over loyalty, justice over protection, I realized this was never about revenge. It was about breaking cycles, about showing him a different kind of strength. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't in destroying your enemy, but in refusing to become them. The guard comes to release me, and I step toward my future, leaving the taste of revenge behind. Steam rises from the hot springs like memories trying to escape. My mother sits beside me, her silver hair gleaming in the sunset, while Tyler and Lily splash in the deeper pool nearby. Their laughter echoes against the mountains, young and uncertain, but healing. Rachel made a deal with prosecutors, I tell my mother, watching ripples spread across the water. Full testimony against Mark in exchange for reduced charges. She nods, understanding the weight of what I'm not saying. And the blog? Deleted. Some stories need to end. Tyler swims closer, his face more open than I've seen it in years. Jason called. Dad's sentencing is tomorrow. Are you going? I ask. No. He looks at Lily, then back at me. But I wrote him a letter about everything. The water feels warmer suddenly, or maybe it's the pride warming my chest. Tyler chose truth over loyalty, strength over anger. He's becoming someone different than his father, than the angry boy who once pointed a gun at shadows. I knew about Mark's affairs, my mother says quietly. Long before you did. The admission hangs in the steam between us. Why didn't you tell me? Because you needed to find your own strength, not have it handed to you like some inherited wisdom. Tyler and Lily drift back to their pool, their whispered conversation carrying traces of future plans, college, dreams, possibilities unmarred by the past. I found this in the lake house. My mother pulls a photograph from her robe pocket. Mark and me on our wedding day, his arm around my waist. Both of us smiling at a future we couldn't see clearly. You should burn it, Tyler calls over. But there's no bitterness in his voice now. No. I let the photo float on the water. Some things shouldn't burn. They should just float away. My phone buzzes. Derek texting updates about the SEC investigation. I silence it without reading. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, legal battles, the slow untangling of financial webs. But tonight belongs to steam and stars and the sound of young love learning to trust again. You never told me, my mother says, if the revenge was worth it. I watch Tyler teach Lily to float, his hands gentle under her back, nothing like Mark's controlling grip. It wasn't revenge in the end. It was revolution. Against what? Lies. Control. The stories we tell ourselves about love and loyalty. I sink deeper into the water. I thought I wanted to destroy Mark, but I really wanted to free Tyler and myself. A shooting star streaks overhead, and Lily makes a wish out loud. Something about future happiness that makes Tyler blush. My mother squeezes my hand under the water, a gesture that speaks of pride and understanding and the quiet strength of women who survive. Your new book, she says. Will it tell this story? Not directly, but it'll be about transformation, about turning poison into medicine. The steam thickens as night falls, blurring boundaries between water and air, past and future. Somewhere in a jail cell, Mark awaits sentencing. His carefully constructed world collapsed into concrete walls. Rachel faces her own reckoning, her ambition turned to ashes in her designer mouth. But here, in this moment, their shadows can't reach us. Tyler laughs at something Lily whispers, the sound pure and unguarded. My mother hums an old lullaby, one she used to sing when nightmares came. And I feel the last traces of bitterness dissolve in the mineral-rich water. I have something to tell you both, I say, drawing their attention. I'm selling the lake house. Tyler's expression flickers. Where will we go for holidays? I bought a small cottage by the ocean. I meet his eyes. Sometimes you need salt water to heal old wounds. He nods, understanding the metaphor, the need to build something new from the ground up. Lily squeezes his hand, and my mother smiles, the kind of smile that says she knew all along where this journey would lead. The stars multiply overhead, reflecting in the dark water like scattered diamonds. Tomorrow will bring its own challenges, but tonight we float in transformation, letting the warm water wash away the last echoes of retribution, replacing them with something stronger than revenge, hope.